Never break, always fight, never quit, do it right, play the game, win it life, have no shame, there's no time, feel the pain, live the grind, I could change, in my mind, pick a lane, commit and climb, the only way to win it life, I never miss, that's fact, taking big swings, bitch, hand me the bat, put me in the ring, you'll go out in a bag, cause I sing what I mean and I bring it to the mad light, ain't got time to kill, I got time to feel, I took the red pill, I know life's short so I wanna live real, but how's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel? They wanna say my name, but they holding back. They wanna say they hate, but they know it's cap. I ain't play no games, I just do that's fact. And I don't feel no shame, it's a mood you lack. I go crazy, nah bitch I ain't lazy. Track after track, I work on this shit daily. Pass me the jack, right as fuel, got me hazy. About to unpack all these things I've been chasing. I've got visions in my head, like memories after death. To be a legend instead of something you can forget. I'm living up every breath, I'd rather lead than be led. I'll fill the seats as I spread with every word that I've said. How's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel? Never break, always fight, never quit, do it right, play the game, win it life, have no shame, there's no time, feel the pain, live the grind, I could change, in my mind, pick a lane, commit and climb, the only way to win it life, I never miss, that's fact, taking big swings, bitch, hand me the bat, put me in the ring, you'll go out in a bag, cause I sing what I mean and I bring it to the mad light, ain't got time to kill, I got time to feel, I took the red pill, I know life's short so I wanna live real, but how's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel? They wanna say they hate, but they know it's cap. I ain't play no games, I just do that's fact. And I don't feel no shame, it's a mood you lack. I go crazy, nah bitch I ain't lazy. Track after track, I work on this shit daily. Pass me the jack, right as fuel, got me hazy. About to unpack all these things I've been chasing. I've got visions in my head, like memories after death. To be a legend instead of something you can forget. I'm living up every breath, I'd rather lead than be led. I'll fill the seats as I spread, with every word that I've said. How's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel?
Good morning, and good morning. Hey, what are y'all doing up this early? Good morning, CC. Good morning, Larry. Good morning, whatever. Here we go, start this show early today. Yes, we are. We got other things to do. All right.
Into these destructive cult leaders like Bishop. And when he said that, I was like, dang, like, I felt the pressure, but I also felt empowered because I know that I don't want anyone to experience what I experienced trial before sentencing. And I'm super excited. Like, I kind of been wanting to do this for a while, for a long time, but I think I was talking myself out of it. But I think, like, after hearing feedback from the trial, I guess I just will say a little background for anyone who's listening. I know everyone probably in the chat know me, but if you're listening to this and you're like, who is this person? My name is Kendra, and I'm a mother. I am married to that handsome man in the chat, Aaron Dixon. And I am from Washington State. Yeah. I mean, yeah, what else you want to know? Like, no, just kidding. But yeah, and I'm doing this channel specifically because I was in a cult for 5 years. The cult is called Carbonation. And the cult leader that ran the cult, his name is Eligio Bishop. And he recently was on trial. The trial was last month, and it was the state of Georgia versus Eligio Bishop. And he was found guilty on all charges. I testified in that trial as a witness. And I got a lot of feedback on my testimony. I got a lot of feedback on the impact statement that I made at the end of the trial before sentencing. And I felt like I I'm glad that it impacted people in the way that it did. I didn't know that it would. It really always just spoke from my heart when it came to this situation. And it seems as though people really enjoy, or I don't know if that's the best word, but people really appreciate, I should say, my perspective and what I've learned, and just like where I coming from, where I'm coming from, just like me, people really appreciate it, and I really appreciate everyone's support. Thank you to everybody that's here listening. I appreciate you, King Birdie. I appreciate you, Cacao. Oh, I don't know why I want to call you Cacao, but it's clearly Coco. Hey, Medea, I see you. Um, yes, and so when I heard about, people like it just transforming people in the way that it did, I just knew that, um, I didn't want to just keep what I've learned to myself.
Hey, Larry.
Also, a very major thing that made me want to start this channel is destructive cults are ever present. They're not going anywhere.
Yep.
I had briefly spoke to Rick Allen Ross, who is a cult expert that also testified in the trial
Mm-hmm.
of the state of Georgia versus Eligio Bishop. And I got the opportunity to talk to him, and he told me that it's people like
Hey,
me, it's
boo.
people like Janae, it's people like Aaron, it's people like every former member of Carbonation that has spoken out. It's people like us that really put an end to these destructive cult leaders like Bishop. And when he said that, I was like, dang, like, I felt the pressure, but I also felt empowered because I know that I don't want anyone to experience what I experienced in that cult. And I know that people experience those things every day in other cults. People have experienced far more in many cults and have put them, have gotten into some situations that it's just very hard to get out of, or people do not make it out. And so, um, I feel just like this is a need.
Mm-hmm.
This is a need. It is
Mm-hmm.
necessary. And it's
Exactly.
so funny because Bishop always told his followers, when I was present in Carbonation, he always told us, if you leave, just keep my name out your mouth. Don't say nothing. Don't talk about me. Just go on and live your life because just saying all these things. Even though he really didn't want anyone to leave and really put in a stop or tried to coerce people to stay all the time. Um, but he would always say that. There's even a video of multiple members attempting to leave and him putting the camera in their face on live video and
Mm-hmm.
saying, if you leave, take down my social media. Don't be on my social media
Yep.
talking about me.
Yep. I
And
saw
he
it.
would always try to silence us. But
Mm-hmm.
just like Aaron said in the chat, I will not be silenced. We will not be silenced.
That's
That's what
right.
he wanted. That is always what he wanted. He wanted us to be silent. He
Nope.
wanted us to allow him to abuse people and mistreat and harm people and not say nothing about it. And I do not think that that's not on my watch. What is that video the TV putting up? Shout out to the T. She be putting up that video every time. Not on my watch. Not on my watch. No, this is not gonna happen. I'm gonna speak my truth. Y'all are still, as far when I say y'all, I mean the members of Carbonation, the cult followers of Bishop, they're still recruiting, they're still baiting people in and trying to indoctrinate people. So yeah, what what the counter narrative needs to be here.
Duh.
The counter narrative
Yes.
needs to be loud as the um
I told you guys. I told you guys. You got to get to the new people first. You have to get to the new people first, just like in your communities, just like where you live. You got to get to them kids first, or you got to get to the elder, our seniors first. Even though they seniors, but somewhere down the line, they get lonely. Their friends start to pass away. They all their friends they don't have no more. So you have to get to them first. Sometimes you got to remind either or group of what's going on. And I told you guys they are still recruiting. He's gonna be the leader from jail. They're gonna still do what that man say to do from jail. He gonna be watching them. He gonna be doing everything. He just cannot be there. But the good thing is they can sleep at night because his telephone privileges go off at a certain time. Thank goodness for that. But I'm glad they're gonna counteract, and that's what we're gonna continue to do too, right? All right, let's go.
As the propaganda is. You're saying that you're out here living natural and, you know, living peaceful, but I spent 5 years in this cult and I know exactly what's going on. I know all the inner workings of this cult. I spent almost every day of those 5 years with Bishop in his presence. I know exactly what this man was doing.
Hey, Vet.
So what
Greetings.
you can say this is about hurt feelings, but I ain't hurt. I ain't hurt. I'm real. I'm a real person that was really involved and really did believe and really was indoctrinated into this cult. And so when it comes down to it, I have every right to speak my truth about it. And I just, I will not be silenced.
Nope.
Exactly. Y'all are
Hey, Jack.
not on my watch for real. I see y'all though. Uh yes. Medea, Jackson, Juju are recruiting every day. They are pulling people in for money. Exactly. Exactly. And I think that
What
that's
is up, baby? Top of the morning.
that I understand that they don't realize what they're doing, but there are people who only hear what they're saying. Like, I'm going to get into the interview that was done last night with the two ladies, Aya and Efru. People that just listen to what they are saying and they don't have any um, other narrative to go off of. And so they're like, oh, well, these ladies sound intelligent. They sound like they're fine. They look beautiful. So everything looks fine. It's great. So maybe he didn't do anything wrong. Maybe this is an injustice. Maybe all this stuff that, other people are saying, maybe it's true. And I think that I have the opportunity to speak up and say, hey, no, because I know for a fact, well, I'm not going to say for a fact, but I know, I'm pretty sure that if things hadn't um, happened the way that they did, if I had not left that cult,
Yep.
I'd probably be sitting right next to them in that
Mm-hmm.
video
Mm-hmm.
saying the things they're saying. So, quite frankly, I'm going to call it out. And I took notes, y'all. I took notes.
All right, now
Y'all hear
where
that? Notes.
where is Malaya?
uh, I don't know what the lady's name is that did the interview, but she was very soft spoken. She seemed like she might not had a lot of information about the cult. Um, which I know a lot of people don't. A lot of people are busy. They have lives. They're doing things. When they come across these people, when I'm sure when people were coming across me when I was in the cult, and they didn't know me, they were just like, "Oh, okay, oh, okay, she's out there living in nature. Okay, cool." Like, people don't really know what's going on unless they study it, or like y'all in the chat, y'all been following for a while, or y'all have studied the behavior, or um, you've taken the time to critically analyze it. So, uh, yes, her name. Okay, so her name is Slauson Girl Speaks. speaks. Okay, thanks. Because I was trying to figure that out
I,
earlier.
I was trying to tell
But I
y'all
did
that
see
girl
that
need to
the T
stop
is
her
gonna
crap.
stream it. So and it's gonna be up on her page.
It was
So I'm
terrible.
not gonna play the video on here because one, I don't even know how to do that. I'm not even gonna lie. Two, I just feel like I can get to the point without doing that. Um, I don't want to be on here all day long. That part,
Hold on.
but
It's too early in the morning. Lord knows it's too early in the morning. All I could say is they need to go back and watch all their videos so they can hear what they are saying and who is lying. Correct. Oh, I just like to give a big shout out to my girl, One Love. She felt the need to write me like 6 damn messages, right? I just want you to say, you need, I got you some tissue, Miss One Love. I got you some tissue. You need it. Go dry your eyes and go get some therapy, okay? All right. You know, don't be, thank you for your comments, but you really need therapy. Her name is Miss One Love. Now, don't say I do you no favors, okay? All right. Give me, you wanted the spotlight, I gave it to you. Right? So go get some tissue, dry your eyes, and go get you some therapy, okay? All right. Now we're gonna get back to this show. I didn't even think the messages was gonna come. So a lot of messages don't make it. Comments. Her comments made it. But just in case she watches, I thought I'd just help her out some. You know what I'm saying? All right. Let's go. Don't forget, guys, if you didn't hit the like, hit the like.
let me know while I'm doing this, y'all, if everything sounds good, if it sounds clear, if y'all can hear my little movements and stuff, if it's irritating, whatever. Like, just be like, "Hey, Kendra," and I'm really because I got the chat right here, and I'll make it do what it do. Absolutely, Jay. Uh, they said, let's be real. Efru and Aya are not doing interviews with anyone who is critical or going to ask real questions. And that's just uh, a fact. Because, and we're going to get into that about how what separates, cult members, people who are believers in these cults, from people who are examining from the outside. These cult members are not critically thinking. And so they cannot be critically analyzed. They cannot be asked the tough questions because they run from things like that because it's just, it's and they use the excuse of it's the lower self, it's the demons, it's trying to drag me down. But in reality, it's just this cult, this belief system does not stand up to scrutiny. And so we'll just act like it's, we'll either only talk to people who agree with us or people who coddle us, people who enable us, or we just won't mess with you. We won't talk to you. And we'll just say you're a demon. So yeah, let's get right into it. Well, before I get into it, hey, I'll just see who else came up in here. I don't know how to pronounce that name. Kayela. I'm sorry. I'll just call you Kay. But Jai is great. He's fabulous. Hey, Mrs. Bennett. I'm good. I'm doing all right. This is my first live on YouTube. So book called Inside and Out. And I studied Dr. Steve Hassan's book. So the interview started off with them basically introducing themselves. Aya starts off saying like, yes, Eligio Bishop is our husband. interesting because on the stand, in the trial, Aya does not say that Eligio Bishop is her husband. She said he is her friend. They are friends. I thought it was interesting that that she said um Bishop is her husband. You see, when it comes to cult members, it's never consistent. I know for a fact when I was a cult member in this cult, you often had to shapeshift. You often had to say what was needed to be said in the moment. So on the stand, see, she didn't want to say it was her husband because she knew that would look weird. And she knew they would probably try to use that to open up the door of polygamy or whatever, what have you. But on this interview on Instagram, she calls Bishop her husband. And we're not even going to get into was y'all already know. If you don't know, Bishop is not legally married to Aya or Evru or any of the women that are still in his control. But he often uses that "you're my wife" thing to, yes, have some sort of dominance and control. But yeah, that was interesting. She calls him her husband off the bat. Evru starts talking about, oh, sorry, let me not skip that. The interviewer basically asks about, okay, so uh, do people refer to you as a cult because of the polygamy thing? And because, when Aya called, said that this is our husband, he has been, falsely um, basically sentenced in this trial, and he's been done wrong in the justice system, and da 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 da. And so the interviewer asked, well, are they referring to you guys as a cult because of polygamy? And Efru is like, well, I wouldn't really call it polygamy. Like, I just call it a family. Like, wait, hold on. It's not funny. I'm not saying verbatim what she said. I don't know if she exactly said that, but she definitely referred to it as a family when asked about polygamy and it being a cult. And I'm just like, but Aya just said that's her husband. So what's going on here? We see it, we know it, but it's like they don't know it. Of course they don't know it. But you're referring to it as a family. And I think the reason why she's referring to it as a family because what else do you refer to? If you're in a cult, you have like most people I think that are in cults, they're not going to admit like we're in a cult. This is a cult.
That'd be correct. And like I said, once they come out, you wish them well. If they are still in there, they are still dangerous people. But that doesn't mean I don't want Malaya out. I'm gonna put that. We're gonna have to put some pressure on these people. We want to see Malaya. I know she got told to be isolated. Y'all made her get isolation. So it's only y'all two. I probably see her like, oh, but we still want to know that she's okay. We shouldn't be still playing these games. Natureboy shouldn't be still playing these games, right? So I guess as long as he can't reach out, which they need to shut up because they are sending danger to that judge. And Nature, I'll tell you, he's funny. He's funny. He's so funny. How you gonna sit in a room full of alleged or quote unquote Freemasons, right? And they're gonna go, I'm three God. It's a lot of reasons that play part in it. Hey, Miss Kiera. I don't know, but it's all. I wish she gonna maybe hopefully Kendra will explain what might be or could be happening with her, because if they are so honest about their God and their husband, then they should be always honest. Why keep that away? Why if what y'all do is not a secret, why is it a secret? Right? If what y'all do is not a secret and you want us to believe what you're saying, so why are you hiding where Malaya is at? At what point in time? So then, if it's none of our business, everything you do is none of our business. If it's not our business, everything you do is not our business. I don't care how much we talk, we still don't want nothing to happen to nobody. When you do commentary, we may tell it like, but we don't want nothing to happen to nobody. We don't want to see nobody getting beat. We don't want to see nobody getting abused. No, we don't. Even though they're doing some stuff, yes, they are. Yes, they are. No, they have abused her face up, Kiara. Mm-hmm. Every time Nature Nut get locked up, he blaming on a female. So we already know she's in isolation somewhere. But the thing is, they should tell us where. I mean, if y'all don't want him to have an appeal, why y'all still doing the same tricks? And then you're gonna come back with a lie, knowing that we seen them tricks time and time again when they wasn't on camera. And then you don't want us to talk about you. We can't stop it because y'all doing the same daggone thing. But y'all want the people to believe y'all. But that's why they want the purpose of them. It's not like we are smaller. We are smaller channels. We just know what's up. Because if you was a bigger channel and knew what was up, they ain't coming to you neither. They're going to new channels with new people, new set of ears, new set of eyes, because they're trying to build up a momentum. It ain't gonna happen. Because then we gonna have to start trying to tell these bigger. We need to come on there too. You need to know what's really up. But let's carry on. You know we have to do commentary. I don't know where Cece at, but Cece, I'm gonna drop the link for you, Cece. Cause I have to get my coffee. I thought I dropped it, but not. So Cece, this for you. So let's carry on. Hopefully she like kind of touched that. Don't forget we got a show later. I put the link in, baby.
Although Bishop has said that a couple times, but they will refer to themselves as a family, a church, a organization, things like that. So she refers to it as a family because, come on, like we all have a family. We can relate to a family. Oh, they're a family. That makes sense. That doesn't sound so bad. Okay. But then I thought, but doesn't he preach and practice polygamy live online? I I really think that each and every live that is done, um, where a cult member, where when I was in the cult, anybody that was in the cult, or when Bishop would go live, it was always about selling this idea. Like we were salesmen for the so-called kingdom of heaven, right? It's like you have to sell this idea. And that's a part of the recruitment process. And this is why I'm going live today, because I understand that the recruitment process is still current. It's still going, because when you're saying things like, oh no, we're a family, that sounds very friendly, right? Very lighthearted. And somebody that is lacking that or is looking for that wants that, and they want to grab hold to that. But that is a lie. Carbonation is not a family. Natureboy is not a family man. Bishop is not a family man. This is not a family. And I can attest to that. Somebody who was in the cult for 5 years, we were not a family. We called each other. Oh, family is frequency. We eat together, we pray together, we sleep together. Yes, we family. But family does not do the things that we did. Okay. Family don't hit each other. Family doesn't abuse each other emotionally, physically, emotionally, none of that. Family don't sleep with each other. All right, well, like, come on, don't do that. Family don't allow doesn't even allow people to do things within the family. They know that it's not right. They see it, but they say, okay, that person can do no wrong. This is not a family. But you see, Efra's educated, she's intelligent, and she knows she has to deny it being a cult because that would mean she's in a cult. And no one that's in a cult really wants to admit that they're in a cult. But when I started hearing that, I was like, oh, they're trying to bait people in. Oh, we're a family. And she goes straight to, instead of addressing the fact that, is it a cult? She goes, oh no, we're a family. Bishop was living his life way before, he was living his life in that room alone. He set out on this journey alone. People came to follow him. That's not even what she asked. But she goes, oh yeah, he was out there in the room all by himself. I'm sorry, I'm so dramatic the way I'm reenacting. He was out there in the room. She was out. He was out there in Atlanta in the room by himself. He set out on his own spiritual journey. People came to follow him and to live with him. And see, like me, that's what Everett was like. See, like me, and this is not verbatim, y'all, but this is what I remember. She was like, like me, I agreed with what he was saying, and you do have to make changes when you come into his life. She does use the word change. She's like, you got to change your diet. You got to cut the dye out of your hair. You got to go natural. And she talks about the things you have to change, but she only really talks about the diet and the hair thing, the natural life, like walking barefoot on the ground and stuff like that. Like I said, that's the same thing as referring to it as a family. You're using these selling points that people really can't debate much. Like, okay, so you got to change your diet and your hair. That's easy. That's easy. Okay, so you got to be vegan and you just can't have a weave. Oh, well, that's not so bad. See, he wasn't harming nobody. But Efru, what you didn't mention.
Good morning, love.
Good morning, sugar. How are you?
I just had my sip of coffee. I'm great. I be up. I was up like 5:45 or something. I ain't go to sleep too late. But welcome. Okay, how do you feel about what she's saying now and what she's doing?
I think that she's doing great expressing herself, and she knows firsthand what is what went on in the cult, and pretty much how things would be, even though she's not there. So she can attest to a lot of the things that we are saying ourselves, you know. And I think she's spot on, you know, spot on. And I'm glad that she got away, and I'm proud of her and Aaron, and she seems to really love him.
Yeah, yeah. And glad that is more people counteracting this. Because I told you guys, just when we thought, just like a cop, just like anybody else, you may have been finished with that case, but it's on to the next case, right? But we at least wanted a little woosah first shoot. We have to let it be known. Do not send them money because he's not getting no appeal no time soon. They're working on it. They're gonna be working on it for a very long time. And then as just like for the last 2 years, they was collecting data. They're still collecting data. You cannot have a YouTube site talking about no judge. You cannot have anything that's going to go against the judge, and as we see, it's not going to work. What was that? Oh snap! Hold on. I was like, "What's that?" I forgot. That's a teapot. Like teapot, mess me up. Right. You,
In the
you, you,
background.
you. Now, don't forget. You heard my teapot?
Mm-hmm.
I was like, what was that? First of all, I was like, what is that? I forgot it was on. But Evo, what was that? What was his name? Tuki, or what was his name? That was in jail. He was.
Yeah.
They couldn't get him out neither, and they tried everything to the last day.
I even wrote myself. I
Mm.
remember because I even wrote myself. And not really knowing the depths of what he was, I just felt, at the time, compelled to do it, and so I did it. But yeah, nope, they didn't let that man out.
And the media coverage was way more than this, and he had
Hmm.
way more people under him.
Hmm.
He
And
had
he
a
was
lot.
a real gangster, not no fake gangster,
Yay, yay,
real gangster,
yay,
OG.
yay, yay, yay. I forgot how long was he in jail. Do you remember?
No, it was a long time. I think it was probably maybe before I was born. I don't know.
No, this was Ben was born. Oh no, I mean, I know what you mean when he went to jail.
Hmm.
So, but Evil who look how long he kept trying and trying and trying and trying. So I don't want people to get their hopes up when it's false and keep sending them money for a false dream. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying?
Yeah.
And we thinking, yeah, yeah, yeah. They, I mean, again, they don't know what they're doing because they think they've been here before. They think they know how the system works. And he was getting all positive stuff. He was getting all positive stuff, and that didn't help him. So, and my thing is, we don't want no more young kids because he's gonna still be the leader from in jail. That part I believe they do know. He's gonna still be the leader from in jail. So let's not get that twisted. All right, we're gonna get on back to the drawing board because we have to do comment. We got to do commentary, Lakeisha.
Hmm. They sure do. Make sure YouTube not on your back.
I know I ain't got no more back for him, girl. Ah, I used to do a coffee run. I used to call it a coffee run, but I used to start at 7, set 6, 7. That's when I tell you I've been doing it for so long. That's because that was the time I had to get my son up. Let's get out of here. You hear me screaming all through the same thing. Let's go. You gotta make your mother. And then I go off and come back. So I miss doing the morning coffee runs. But let's continue. Shall we go?
All right, let's
Mention
do
was that you have to change your name. You absolutely cannot go by Kayla in that cult. That is a dramatic change to change your name. You can say it's your tribal name. You can say it's because of you don't go by your straw man and you're against the system all you want. But changing your name is a separation from your identity and who you are, who you were for 20 plus years of your life. All of a sudden now you're Efru. All of a sudden I was Sheba. That's a dramatic change. I mean, people to this day is still calling me Sheba. People to this day will not call me Kendra. Like that's a dramatic change. There's so many people in this chat right now that didn't know me. Hold on, here comes Ja. Okay. There's so many people that knew me as Sheeba before they knew me as Kendra. That's a
Well,
dramatic change to
I,
change your name. So why didn't she mention that? Because that's dramatic. And I think, like, to answer your question, Lynette, do I think that they're conscious of the fact that they're dumbing themselves down to sell a lie? No, I think that what's happening is, I've seen it in other cults too, when studying other cults, is that, you know, the ends justify the means. So it doesn't matter that they are omitting the truth, that they are not saying everything that is really going on within the group. It's okay that they are only using these selling points to bait people in. It's okay because you're leading people to their higher selves. Apparently you're leading
mm-hmm,
people to the kingdom of heaven, right?
mm-hmm.
Jao, I said, if you're gonna sit here, you can't be loud, remember? Huh? Okay, well, if you make a lot of noise,
He
then
said,
you should probably go in your room to do it.
he said, I know.
Um,
Very
sorry,
intelligent.
y'all. Well, I'm
Mm-hmm.
not sorry, but you know how it be. um, hold on.
Boy, them kids, boy, make you forget real quick. And the cat and the dog and the pets too. They be like,
Yes. I'll be on a panel sometimes and I'll be having one arm wrestling with this little one over here because he always think it's time to wrestle. I'm like, boy, go somewhere. Nobody trying to wrestle with you.
Had to get child. That's playing. No, it's just like, I know that I'm gonna be talking about sensitive things, and I don't want to, have children in the room. Um, but he'll be okay. So, back to what I was saying. Uh, yes, he always got something to say, girl. He always got something to say, and I love it. Like, I love that he's just being a kid and being free and being himself. Um, and I'm like, we gonna do that. We gonna play. Right now, Mama's not playing with you. Okay. But back to what I was saying, about, do I think that they are, like, purposely being deceitful, or know that they are dumbing themselves down to sell a lie? Like, I think what you were saying with that question is, like, do they recognize that they're not saying everything that can be said about this group, about this cult? I think that, like I said, like, it's one of those things. I mean, we did so much propaganda within that cult
mm-hmm.
to sell an idea, and I think that even though we knew that we
Well,
weren't
we wasn't so
exactly, like, living this image, we weren't
well
living
you
it
didn't
out, we weren't
mm-hmm.
really doing anything indigenous or natural for real, except for walking barefoot on the ground. We knew that we had to kind of present it that way because we wanted that's what we wanted for Black people. Like, we want Black people to be this, so we're gonna basically make a commercial to sell this to
No,
Black people, but we're not
realizing
really living
exactly.
it. So it's interesting because what you're willing to do, I know, like, in the Moonies, Dr. Steve Hassan, he was in the Moonies, uh, and he talks about how they would lie. Like, they would lie to people and say, like, oh, if you buy this from us, you'll be donating to, poor children or at-risk youth or something.
Mm-hmm.
But really, the money was going to the Moonies, and it's like, you're okay with the lie because these people are giving to God. If you attract people to you, well, you're attracting people to God. So it's okay to be deceitful within a cult. So that's the best way I can explain it. Um, I just thought it was interesting how I caught that. Like, I caught the fact that Efru talked about the diet and the hair. And I'm like, but Efru, we have not talked about diet and hair since like 2018, 2019. Like, Carbonation is long past talking about diet and hair. At some point in Atlanta, Bishop was like, it don't matter what we eat because it's going into us. It's going into our DNA. So we transferring the food. So we don't got to eat non-GMO. We can eat whatever we want. Man, we was eating Fruit Loops, honey buns, all types of donuts and cookies. Like, I mean, I'm pretty sure I had a bowl of Apple Jacks. I mean, come on. We was eating whatever we wanted to eat. So it ain't about no diet. And he was definitely, before I left, talking about getting all the women weaves. Oh yeah, I want Malia to have long hair. Yeah, we gonna get him. He put weave into his own head. It ain't about changing your hair and diet, Efru, and you know that. But see, you're a salesman and you gotta sell the idea, and I feel you. But when do we say this is not okay? She didn't mention changing your name. That's a big change. She didn't mention how you definitely have to leave your children. You cannot take your children to carbonation with you. He uses that Bible verse. You cannot put anything before the kingdom of God. You know, I don't know. There's a verse about separating mothers and daughters and children and parents. I guess I don't know the Bible verse, but he said it a lot. And yes, you can't bring your children with you. And we know that that is evident because Aya and Malia do not have their children. That's a huge, like, we're not going to brush past that. Like, that's just small. That's a huge change. So if we're going to talk about change, Efru, what about that? Let's speak to that. You have to have no contact with your family or friends unless they are supportive. So if they express any critical thought or opinion towards you or the group, block them.
Block.
They don't exist. They're in their lower self and they'll only try to pull you down. See, they won't say that on that live interview because they know people gonna look at them like, what? Y'all leaving y'all kids and y'all family and friends? And man, I'm not with that. That's not a good selling point. So you can't use that to bait people in. You kind of you say that later on, like, you know, you can't tell your family. You know, when people start getting indoctrinated, then you kind of slip that in. You know, you can't tell your family. Don't tell them what you're about to do. Just come out. You got to take your own spiritual journey, man. It's about you. You came through your mom. You ain't your mom's daughter. She not really your mom. She's a program. You came through her. Like, you can't just give that to somebody off the bat. You got to kind of wait till they get indoctrinated a little bit and then start throwing that in there. Crazy. Oh, babe, before I Aaron, I'm about to make you a moderator because I'm not paying attention to the chat. Can I do that? Oh Lord, see, now I gotta figure out. Hold on, let me figure this out real quick. Thank you for sharing my live, Janae. I gotta figure out if I can make you a moderator real quick. Ooh, I can. Okay, yeah. You got the big M now. I don't know. I just made that up. Yeah, I know, Janae, I couldn't do it on oh yes. All right, Janae, you a moderator too. The Gray family asked, did Malia and Aya talk about their kids and missing them? Oh, you talking about while I was there? Yeah. They did. Briefly. Because you get silenced when you do that. You can't talk about that. I remember specifically Malia getting in quote unquote trouble when she was looking at pictures of her son on Snapchat.
Yep, we saw that. Let me
When
rewind
Bish,
that because
yeah, I know, Janae, I couldn't do it on. Oh yes, yes, yes. All right, Janae, you a moderator too. Um, the Gray family asked, "Did Malia and Aya talk about their kids and missing them?" Oh, you talking about while I was there?
yeah, wouldn't be why you was
Yeah,
gone.
uh, they did briefly, because you get silenced when you do that.
Oh,
You can't talk about that. I remember specifically um, Malia getting in quote unquote trouble
but we remember that was
when she was
live.
looking at pictures of her son on Snapchat. When Bishop found out that she was still had access to her Snapchat because she wanted to see her son, he was livid. He was very upset about that, and he addressed it like, "Is my baby crying?" Okay, no. He addressed it as if she was so out of line, like, and basically she was like being dragged to her lower self because she couldn't stop thinking about her past, and he made it a big deal. And I don't know if she ever looked at her son again after that day. I remember, like,
Mm,
y'all seen on that one live when she was like, "Oh yeah, this is what he looks like." The only reason why she pulled up that picture is because he was talking about their sons in that moment, and she felt like, "Oh, it's safe to do so." But
mm,
when I tell you, when that live went off, even
mm.
before that live went off, he told you how he felt about other people's children.
Yep.
So no, they can't express out loud missing their children. And I know for sure, like, they couldn't really express it to me. I expressed to me that she was making a video and showed me the video that she was making to her son. She wrote a letter to her son to basically explain why she was in
Mm-mm.
carbonation
You
and
can't explain that.
hoping that he would understand her so-called mission in life.
Mm-mm.
But they would, I mean, I was definitely one of those people that would snitch on you. So it really expressed to me, I'd have been like, such and such is talking about their Babylon child. No, I probably wouldn't have did all that, but
Oh, this is so sad. So sad. CC, what it be?
It's breaking my
Mm,
heart. And I almost
me
called him out
too.
his name. I almost called him out his name, but I had to catch my tongue and not hit the unmute button.
I
How
know the
dare you,
feeling right now. Mm-hmm.
Like, how dare you? Like, I don't play about my babies. Like, I don't play about other people's kids. So, let alone my own. And you talking about, oh, and that's the thing about a narcissist and hater. Like, you can't be happy. You can't love
Mm-mm.
anything but them.
And the crazy part is, remember, this can also go for the father of your child. If he is too detached from your child and get mad every time you spending too much time with your child, you need to start thinking about stuff.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Because what adult in their right mind, because I know it's a lot of them that do it, but I'm saying those that are in their right mind and mature would get jealous of a child. And even if they wasn't a child no more, that's still her child. I'm saying, even if the child was a teenager, preteen, or even adult, that's still her baby. Real mothers don't play when it comes to their children. such a shame. He sees those kids as competition, and that's so sick. Good morning, Nikki. Guys, hold on. I think Shook stepped away from the mic for a second. Nikki, I think they were too scared and afraid to um ask him or challenge him about their children. I think that because they were punished to the severity and the extent that he felt need be, I think that they didn't push the envelope. And then also you hear this young lady, even though she was quote unquote joking about snitching, there were a lot of those that were around them that would tell that they would have contact with their kids. So I don't think that they would have challenged him. Anyone that hasn't hit the like button, please hit the like button. And if you are new to the channel, please subscribe. We appreciate you. Thank you. Nikki, me too. I just, when I see him on his rants and the things that he's done to them, I'm like thinking to myself, how didn't they crack? Because I was in a quote unquote one person cult relationship with two different individuals a year apart. And let me tell you, it didn't last long because I'm not set up like that. I'm a snap and you don't want me to snap. So, mm-mm. Right, Jackie? Nikki, I feel you. These men be too comfortable with the way they talk and treat women, and then they want to mess around and have the confidence to eat food and go to sleep. Mm-mm. You talking crazy to me? Don't shut your eyes. You want me to cook your food? Are you sure you want me to cook you some food? No, sir. Well, I know that I'm glad that he's behind bars and good grief. At least they don't have to suffer for at the hands of him directly. Now, hopefully, we can disband the rest of them. But good grief, that had to be torture for all of them, especially the women not being able to see their children. I know some of them, are not in their right minds right now, but if they have any kind of empathy inside of them, I know that they have to be hurting inside, missing their children. How are you guys doing today? I hope you guys have a blessed day today. And let's continue to encourage one another, encourage ourselves, and make sure that we encourage our youth, teach them the right way. and what to look out for, what to be aware of, and how to have standards, morals, values. Please hit the like button when you come in and subscribe to the channel if you have not already subscribed. Yes, someone definitely needs to do a welfare check on her. I don't think anyone knows exactly where they're located, but I don't know if we need to start getting some type of petition going. If anyone knows, maybe the state or wherever. I don't know if they're out of the country right now, but somebody definitely needs to check on that young lady because we don't know what's going on. We have a feeling of what's going on, but we need to make sure that she's okay. Somebody needs to lay eyes on her besides them.
I had it on mute all this time. I'm so
You
sorry. I
was
thought it was
talking.
playing. I thought it was playing.
Uh-uh.
See, they didn't tell me nothing. See, y'all fired. But let's go.
Who knows?
Sorry, guys.
And yes, she was affected by his passing, BB. And but you're not allowed to grieve. You're not allowed to really show emotion in that cult. And I think there was an argument with Bishop when it came to that whole situation because Malia wanted, I think one of her male cousins reached out to her and she asked Bishop permission to be able to speak to him. And he made a big deal like, why are you asking me permission to talk to him? That made me think you got something going on with your cousin. You like your cousin. Like, you must have a thing for your cousin. Like, he is weird. That man is where he belongs. Let me just say. But he snapped out on her when she asked him permission to talk to her cousin. So yes, that goes back to what I was saying. Yes, okay, you got to change your diet and your hair, but you also have to change your name. You have to leave your children. And look at how you have to deal with your family and friends. You got to ask him permission to contact your family member, to talk to your family member. Oh, but it's not a cult and he's not a cult leader. That ain't, no, it ain't adding up. And we don't believe you. I'm sorry, like, and I'm talking to myself as a former cult member too, because like I said, I'd be sitting right next to them in that video. We don't believe you. Oh, and then you also forgot to mention, Efru, that you got to hand over your money. You don't have access to your own finances. Maybe now, they might feel a little bit more independent because they are, uh, they have the finances in their own possession right now, as far as like they spend the money, but you still have to spend the money the way he wants you to spend money. So you don't have control over it. But for years, all the time I was there, I never had access to my own accounts.
I
I
think
had
that
access to
they
my
got
Cash
some
App
they
at
got
one
some
point, but
side cash apps
I
people don't
remember
even know
like
about.
I got some money to my Cash App one morning,
Mm-hmm.
and the first thing I did was take it to Bishop
Mm-hmm.
because I knew that if I didn't show him like I got this money, and he, like, I knew it was going to be a thing later on because people had what were getting money to their personal Cash Apps, and it was a thing. It was a whole meeting about why you making money on your own, why you got your own money coming in, oh, you want to buy your own food, it was a big deal. And I had a son, so I was like getting money to my Cash App from my family so I could get my son things. So me and Aaron could get Ja things for him, like his personal snacks, clothes, things that Bishop did not care about. But we had to move in a way where it was like, dang, like you feel guilty for having access to your own money and for wanting to spend it on things that you need and what's for you and what's best for you and your child. And so, yes, these things are not presented at the forefront of carbonation. They're not going to come out and say, "Hey, if you want to join carbonation, if you want to come out into Bishop's life, you need to leave your children, your family and friends behind, hand over all your money, change your name, uh the list goes on, and be ready to stand in the corner for 3 hours." You do not get that rundown. And if you would get that rundown, how many members would be over there? The ones even sitting over there right now wouldn't be over there if they would have known that they would have eventually been beaten, slapped, gotten their phone taken, gotten documents hid and taken from them, had to stand in the corner for 3 hours butt naked. They wouldn't have went over there if they knew that in advance that's what was going to be going on. They thought we was going to be growing food and, like Everett said, just changing my hair and changing my diet and walking barefoot on the ground. I know that's what I thought. I sure thought we was going to be at the waterfalls every day, just eating fruit off the trees. So all that stuff, they're still selling that dream. And I just thought that's amazing. You're still selling that dream to people when y'all ain't touched the grass on your pinky toe in how many years? Y'all ain't touched a blade of grass. Y'all ain't planted one seed. And y'all definitely don't care about no hair because y'all Muslim now and y'all wearing head wraps. What are we talking about? Okay. Moving on. I just can see how deceptive cult members can be. And it's not their fault. When you understand how thought reform works, they really think they're doing something good. They really think that they're doing something beneficial for humanity. They really think they're leading people to the Christ. They're leading people to their higher selves. I get that. I was there. I get that. I was trying to do that too. Promise you. But it's called deception. And that's what I was saying when I said in the impact statement that I gave, yes, everybody said, okay, I'm gonna leave my life behind and I'm gonna go out here and join carbonation. Yes, that was on a willing, yes, they were willing to do that. But every last one of us was deceptively recruited. And therefore, we were baited in. And then, like, I think, like Rick Allen Ross said, it was a bait and switch. We were baited in to something. We thought it was going to be one thing, but we were served up something else. And it wasn't just like a off rip, it was like a gradual progression, almost if I could break down each day to you, I would, so that, that would have been dope if I had like a camera on me the whole time. So you could see how it progressed over time. It wasn't just like, oh, switched. No, it was like, oh, we're family, everything's cool, everything's great. Uh-huh. Yeah, you gotta use, we live like this, but it ain't nothing. Oh yeah, it ain't nothing. Okay. Now, oh, you know what, y'all? Here comes Bishop. You know what, y'all? I think we need to start implementing this. Oh, okay, that sounds cool. Yeah, all right. Somebody say, oh, I don't really like that. He's like, well, tell me something. This is Bishop. Tell me something. Did I come out to see you, or did you come out to follow me? Did I seek you out, or did you seek me out? Have you confused, stuck for a minute? Like, especially if you're young and like there's certain things you got going on in yourself. You like, dang, I did come out here. Maybe I should listen to you. Dang, how long have I been doing this? See, I was out here before all of y'all, out here in Honduras. And nobody was out. You're like, dang, you was out here doing your thing. Okay, you might know a little something. Okay, so yeah, so who should you be listening to, me or you? Like, damn, you got a good point. You got a good point. Like, okay, let me hear what you got to say. And everybody's backing him up. 15, 20 people like, yeah, listen to him. You'd be surprised what social influence feels like in real time. it happens every day. I mean, if we weren't influenced individuals, if we weren't able to be manipulated, there would be no reason for commercials on television. There would be no reason for advertisements. You wouldn't need those things if people can't be swayed and people can't be manipulated. Come on. It is what it is. Just real quick, and then we'll move on. Cause I know how it be. It probably, dang, there's 124 people apparently here listening. That's what's up. Hey, what's up, y'all? I ain't even paying attention to the chat, so let me add some more people into the moderation team. You know what I'm saying? Um, so, oh, BB, I'm about to make you a moderator. And I'm just going through seeing okay, vlog lurker. Yep, I got you. So yes, I know y'all have questions and stuff. So let me see what questions y'all had dropped up in here. That's a good question. Somebody asked, WTF, as did your views change like Janae's once y'all got introduced to the conscious community in Sonnetter specifically? I think, well, I thought that was a good question. Are you referring to like at the beginning of like me before finding Bishop? I'm not sure. Maybe you can like explain your question again. I'm sorry, I'm not totally comprehending now that I think about it. Thank you. Thank you, PR 360. Libby Lou must have got. Oh, okay. Yeah. Sorry, you got hidden. I don't know what you said. Thanks to Tamara. I see you. Thank you, BB. Okay, that Sonnetter interview was when I started paying attention because he was falsely teaching. Oh, you talking about like when we all went live on Sonnetter and he was like, no, my views didn't change after that. My views didn't change until about 5 or 6 months after physically leaving the cult. I mean, it gradually started to change once I got back to Washington and I was able to have space to critically think for myself. But it didn't totally change until I started becoming more educated about cults, what they are, how the like indoctrination process works, like what's brainwashing, what's thought reform, what are the characteristics of these things. And I started to, I think I already wanted to, like I was open-minded. That's what really changed for me is I was no longer closed off to what Bishop says is the end all be all and no information outside of him is relevant. I was past that point. I would say in around September 2022, I was like, maybe what he says is not the absolute truth. So I was already open to receiving information outside of him. And then that's when I started researching cults and learning more about them. The first thing I researched was brainwashing because I had heard that for pretty much all of my years beginning carbonation, y'all are brainwashed. Y'all are brainwashed. So I said, let me look it up. All of a sudden, right, I have the time and the space to. And there it was. It was talking about isolation, repetition. I realized that I had been away for so long in these foreign countries, just with this man in this group, isolated. I didn't go out to socialize with people outside of the group. I didn't have long phone conversations with anyone outside the group. I didn't have a job, where I could go out and just meet other people anywhere at any point in time. So all I knew was this group. This had became my reality. And then repetition, I mean, that's what you see now, and what you've always seen is us repeating a certain doctrine over and over again. And they call it divine knowledge of self. They call it morals and principles. They call it these things, but really it's just um, thought stopping cliches. And thought stopping cliches are just like what they exactly how it sounds. They are cliched phrases that allow you to stop. You can use to stop like your own authentic thoughts. So, for instance, when Everett was asked, about it being a cult, she says, "Oh no, we're a family because family is frequency." That's a thought stopping cliche. So she doesn't want to accept that it's a cult. So she stops that thought by saying family, and family is frequency. That family is frequency saying is a thought stopping cliche of carbonation. So that's how that go. Thank you guys. Oh yes, thanks for putting Rick Allen Ross's website in there. Thanks, Atmosphere. That's a big red flag, Blair. If you are not able to accept outside opinions, when I tell you, like, living life today, where I'm at today, I am so thankful and grateful to be around people from all different walks of life, backgrounds, opinions, political views, religious views, um, just people that are different from me, because I spent 5 years around people who just, I mean, it was just an echo chamber. Chief says this, Chief says keep the knowledge. You got to keep the knowledge because because if you ain't keeping the knowledge, you ain't it's like, oh my goodness. Just stop. And that's why some people, you would just see them like spaz out, like go crazy. Like, I'm tired of hearing these things, because it's some BS in your soul. But at the same time, your soul is being suppressed. Your authentic being and thoughts are being suppressed. So it's like you kind of get wear down to where you're just like, fine. But being out here in the real world, being able to be in reality and talk to different people, it's such a blessing, because I don't have to agree with you. I don't need you to agree with me. I'm just happy we're here and we're alive. And it's a beautiful thing. There's so much beauty in a difference of opinion and having an open mind and not needing to be right, or um, being open to learning. I think that's a big red flag and issue. If you want to know somebody is a cult member, they know the truth and everything else is a lie. That's a red flag. Like I heard Fruit say, y'all want us to separate. Y'all want us to go back to the lie. Why is anything separate from Bishop, Aya, Malia, and whoever else y'all got in y'all cult? Why is separating from them just automatically a lie? That's all. That already is a red flag and should let you know that you're in a cult, because you know everything. Like, that's scary. You know everything? Oh, for real? Like, Bishop used to say all the time, like, oh yeah, ask me any question, I have the answer to it. That's a red flag. If somebody think they know everything, that's a big red flag. And he would always say, yeah, I don't know everything, I just know I am everything. Like, no, 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 no. But the gag is, whenever a question was asked, or whenever anybody felt like they had a problem or whatever, he swore that he had the ultimate answer, and every other answer was a lie. And so Aya, Efru, all these people that are in his cult, Jax, Juju, they can't accept any outside information at all. It's a lie. What? Scurry. Hold on, y'all. I'm back. What y'all? Did y'all? Yeah, I'm. I'm talking, but I ain't checked in with y'all. What y'all feeling like? Let's see. Janae said Kendra was the perfect example in carbonation. That's why she was praised for being the most poised. A lot of times I was praised, and I think it was because I was the most obedient. Um, I guess you could call it poised in the cult, but it was like I figured it out. I was like, if you just agree, if you just agree and you smile, oh my gosh, you can like be invisible. Like I just tried to be as invisible as possible. Hold on. Okay, there we go. But that sounds crazy, right? Because you'd be like, why would you do that to yourself? Like, but I just figured it out. I was like, man, if you just do everything you're supposed to do, get up, cook, cook for 15 people, put it on a plate, serve it up pretty, give it to him smiling. You can literally get out, like get out of his face, and he won't have nothing to say. Hopefully he doesn't spit the food out and be like, this shit is nasty. But other than that, I felt like I just figured it out. Like I just kept looking at Malia and Zoga. I'm like, y'all just get it together. Just don't have an attitude. How hard is it? How hard is it to just act like you happy? Just act like it. Just smile. I used to be so mad at them, and it's not funny. I'm laughing because um I'm making a joke right now, but it's not funny because when things were happening, when they were being abused, um, I was blaming them. I was blaming them just like I'm sure they blamed themselves and like I'm sure they still do. I was blaming them instead of looking at how he was an abuser and a predator and a destructive cult leader. And that's why I'm saying what I'm saying right now. And I'm on this live right now because for so long uh I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything about it. And that's why I think he was able to uh, do what he was doing for a long period of time is because all of his victims, or I won't say all of them, but a lot of them were silent. And the people that did come out and say, hey, no, he hurt me. He's done these harmful things to people. We demonized them and we made it seem like they were crazy and like, oh, they just was mad because he didn't want them. They try to, how they try to flip it. Oh, she was mad because uh, Bishop didn't want her. Girl, I was trying to be invisible. I didn't want nobody to want me. I was trying to be the wall. If I just blend into this wall and don't nobody see me, I think I'll make it out alive. I don't want nobody to want me. I used to be mad when he used to see me. I'd be like, shit. So, y'all reaching with that one. Nah, Coco. I didn't never heard that, but he probably ain't lying. What's up, Jaja? Any other time you don't even want to be bothered with me. Give me a hug. I love you. You want to say something?
Yeah.
What you gonna say?
I
Okay.
want to play a game.
You wanna play a game?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on, y'all. Okay, I'm back once again. I'm telling you, Janae, see, she's like, you sure did want to be the wall. Exactly. You know, Janae was like, you gotta shine. Come on, Kendra, shine. You're a star. I was like, no, I'm the wall. Like, I'm not getting slapped, hit, or nothing today. I am the wall. My like, leave me alone. As soon as you try to be cute and come out here, you want to say you trying to do something. And I remember one time I took a shower. I'm like, I just took a shower and put a wrap on. Oh, you trying to impress somebody? I'm just what? Like, I swear I wanted to be invisible. I swear I wanted to be invisible. I noticed you smiled when slapping someone. Was that to hide your feelings about it? Were you just going through the motions? Um, like I said, I smiled because that's what so y'all never see me get slapped on camera, right? I did get smacked. Yes, I have got beat. Within that cult, yes, I did experience physical abuse. But when I tell you, when he was telling us to do all that up, down, do all that, I used to be in drill team. I used to do cheerleading. Um, I'm used to, being instructed. I did dance lessons. I did all that stuff. Oh, you up, left, left, right, up, down, left, right. Okay. Then I'll do it with a smile because I don't want to be smacked and I don't want to hear this dude's mouth. So yeah, I did it with a smile. People just, I mean, I think I fooled myself and thought I was happy. Thank you, Carla. I'm thankful that we and other members made it out too. That is such a blessing. And I think about it every day because even though there's still people inside of the cult, I think about other people that made it out, and it's a beautiful thing. Yes, I wanted to avoid attention, King Birdie. That's exactly right. I ran from the camera. He used to be like, why you always running from the camera? You don't want to be on camera because I know as soon as I get on camera, if I say the wrong thing, just like the other girls, I watch, I observe people. I'm like, no, bro. See, every time you get on the camera, you say you slip up and say something wrong. I'm not standing in the corner for 3 hours. I'm not doing it. Yeah, but I will say all those punishments, all of those consequences were not justifiable. So even though I did my best to avoid them, that doesn't mean that, and I was successful some of the time. That doesn't mean that, oh well, that justifies it. Maybe the other women should have just fell in line and did what you did. No, nothing constituted. I don't know if that's the right word. Nothing justified that abuse. It didn't. That man is sick for doing that to any of us, regardless of what any of us had done. Oh my gosh, y'all, I'm so far off of my paper. I got my notes here. We on a whole nother topic. Not a whole nother topic, but we on a sidebar. It is sad that people support the abuser, but that's why we need these counter narratives, right? And I think we're doing a good job, and I think we'll continue to speak up and speak out about these predators and these destructive cult leaders and these abusers, people who really have no regard for human life, and they're really just not decent human beings, and they belong where those people belong. Period. Thank you, BB. I appreciate that. Thank you. It's been a long, like I've wanted to talk about these things for a long time, but I always felt like, oh, am I qualified? Am I, you know, there's a lot of people who have tried to bully me off the internet. Not gonna lie, but it really, I think it was y'all support and just like my own inner courage, you know, to do it. But a lot of the support that I've gotten has really moved me. It has really moved me. And it's not in no superficial way of like, oh, you doing this for people, or, because the cult members will make it seem like so the demons made you do it. Like no, it people, everybody was affected by this. People that were watching, people that were commenting, um content creating, all these people were affected by it. People that were in it, like myself, we were affected by it. And who is anyone to tell us we can't tell our story and we can't tell our side? And what I'm doing is I'm bringing in the facts of the matter of what we have out here as research when it comes to cults, because there's research out here and we need to be educated about it. I know I'll educate my child about it, and I will love to educate other people about it, or at least expose people to the education. I don't think I'm at a level of authority or anything, but I do think that my experience really can help people and impact people. And it's been almost 2 years. So I've been silent for a long time. Like, and that time is over. That's done. We waited, oh my gosh, I'm sure Janae, like, we waited so long, that whole trial, like that whole almost 2 years, we had to wait and not say nothing while they got online. They blasted, old videos of me, putting my name on it and my face out there, even though the judge told them not to, all that stuff. And now you want me to be silent? Nah, because I love you too much. Like it, bitch.
That's right, baby. Talk your talk. Talk your talk. Yeah, I'm up and down, up and down, up and down. So hopefully she says some good stuff, and CC is gonna tell us what she was saying and how she feel about it, because I don't know.
Yeah, she's on point with it. She's getting out everything she needs to say. And the fact that, like she said, she was just trying to be the wall. She was not trying, and she was trying to be invisible. She was not trying to get on his bad side. No, in no way, shape, or form. And
Hmm.
she also said, like, she used to get mad at the other girls because uh, they would be getting an attitude and popping off, and she'd be like, just smile and just, you know, I know you ain't happy, but just act like you're happy. You act like you're happy, then it'll be less trouble. But even she said she did that and was successful some of the time, but not all of the time with that.
Hmm. But it was sad what they were saying about Malaya's. And I remember when he went off on her too.
Yeah, she was talking about how she had took a shower and he was talking about she was trying to impress somebody. Like, dang, she couldn't even take a simple shower. He got it, he got to sexualize everything. Just disgusting.
Mm. Wait, say that again.
She said that she went to go take a shower, and when she got out of the shower, she put a wrap on, and he got an attitude, internet, and said, "Who you trying to impress?" And
What?
she was like, "Dang, I can't even take a shower now." I'm pretty sure she probably didn't say, "Dang, I can't take a shower," to him, but she was
Dang.
probably saying it, like, all I'm trying to do is get clean. I can't even take a shower.
Mm-mm-mm.
So yeah, but like I said, that was just to sexualize it, sexualize her or exualize her. My bad.
Ooh, don't worry, guys. We almost finished. And then a little bit later, we will start. Well, I should have started a little bit later, but I'm starting now. Here we go.
Bishop used to say, nah, because I love you. Like, no, I really want to see those women and the rest of the cult members.
Hey,
For
God, the good
free.
one.
I
Hey,
do.
Miss
I want to see their
Apples.
freedom
I
day.
am good.
I want to see the day where they get to hug their babies again. I want to see the day where they get to have meaningful, fulfilling relationships with people. Everybody that they want to have the day where they the day where they have their own passions and you know impact the world in their own way. and not be so dependent on this person that says they're God. Hey, Lisa. Y'all, Lisa says what motivated me to come on here today, y'all. She motivated me in a way I don't think she knew. So I appreciate you, Lisa. What's up, Solar? I appreciate your support. I be laughing because I be teasing you because you be crazy. I'm just playing. You're not crazy. But there's a lot of people that think that. But I've tried to not base my opinion off people based off of what other people say so much, but more of just my experience with them and, facts. So. Oh, thank you, BB. Thanks. For real, Young, you've been watching for years? That's what's up. He is big now. He's super tall. I'd be like, oh my goodness. Hey, midwife. Thank you. Exactly, Monty. What's up, Dave? Thank you. Dang, y'all been watching for years. What's up, Mojo? Said I've been watching for years. That's what's up. Yeah, for real. Shout out to Janae. It's always going to be shout out to Janae. That's a hashtag. Gemini, no. When he was saying, are you happy? I wasn't smiling. I was like, this man is crazy. If I didn't think he was crazy before, I know he's crazy now. Oh, thank you, Tamara. I appreciate that. Yeah, I think that everybody, like cult members, I don't think they ever can fully suppress their authentic self. Like, you have to try to do it every single day. It's like it becomes like a internal battle every single day to do it. And so, the real you shines. When you see Kayla, or, as she calls herself, Efru, when you see her singing those little poetry things, and painting and vibing, like, that's really her. She's really a dope individual like that. And she shines through even that cult persona. When you see Aya doing her thing, she shines through. Malia too. Zoka's a star for real. Like, and they shine through in those cult personas, but they have to know that they don't have to suppress that. That's not the devil. Now, Bishop will tell you that's the devil. You wanting to be your own person is the devil. He told me when I told him on the phone that I was done with him and I wanted to trust my own mind. He told me, oh, you want to go back to white supremacy. You want to go be the white man's wife. No, that's not what I said. I said I want to go follow my own mind. But see, he thinks that women following their own mind is following white supremacy's mind. Like, and there's people that believe that out there. He's not the only one. There's people that believe that, like, all Black women are filled with white supremacy and they're just the devil, like, but look, think about how much self-hatred you got to have inside yourself. He talks about self-hatred and Black people hating themselves. But how much self-hatred does Bishop have to have inside of himself to think that Black women are devils? And he literally got Black women, myself included at one point, saying, oh yeah, all Black women are being used as weapons against the Black man. We're some demons. He had me thinking I was like inherently a devil. And he got Everu definitely thinking that. Because she's quick to say that. Oh yeah, all this is just, Black woman being used as a weapon against the Black man. That's what this is. How much self-hatred you got to have inside yourself to be telling Black women that they are the devil? What that make you? Because, but he swear he's God. Like, what? Oh, yeah. So I'm just here to, do what Bishop was so afraid of everybody leaving his so-called life, everybody leaving his cult would do is, I'm gonna air you out. I'm gonna air you out. Because I seen you. And I faced you in that courtroom. I told Aaron about over a year ago. I said, this was before I even knew I was going to be a part of the trial. I was like, I feel like one day I'm gonna look him in the eye and say, it was him, Your Honor. Like, yes, I will, into your face. So I seen you. I saw what you did. I know what you did to me now. I'm no longer protecting you. I recognize what you did to me. Yes, I may not have came forward before because I didn't realize that what was happening to me was definitely exploitation and violation and abuse. But now that I know, well, you said proclaim it with due emphasis. That's what I'm gonna do. But I'm gonna do a quick pivot back to the interview so we can examine this a little bit more. And y'all can go see the interview on your own time if you ever so feel like it. But I know for a lot of y'all, it's like womp 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 womp. It's hard to sit there and listen to them talk, especially when you know that's not really what they're saying, what's behind what they're saying. So I think that I really want to break that down. So we talked about the beginning of the video, the beginning of the interview that Efru and I did with the lady on Instagram. Forgot her name again, but let me see where I want to go. Okay. So she talked about how family was frequency, right? And she said, when you go out into nature, people are not going to get you anymore. Efri was basically saying that, like, when you decide to go on your spiritual journey, people are going to, see you and they're not going to understand you no more. So you kind of got to, distance yourself. But I thought that was interesting because
number one grinder,
I don't think that that's true. I don't think that that it was just like, oh, people don't get us, so that's why we can't associate with them. It was that, like, Eligio Bishop was a part of his doctrine was that there's a distinct separation from the so-called chosen people and the lower self individuals. And when you are chosen, you are, like, say, the black sheep of your family, right? And everybody in your family, you're so different from them and you always seen life different from them. You've always been the odd one out. And so what that means is, because you never fit in, that means you're chosen, right? That's how he gets you in. Have you ever felt like, it's like one of those commercials, have you ever felt like nobody understands you? Like you're in a world where, people just don't get it. You've always been different. Yeah. Half the world. Yeah. Okay, well, you're chosen. Some people are like, okay, that's poop. But some people are like, oh, you might be right. So there was always a distinct separation from the chosen people and the lower self individuals. And he taught that you were to distinct that. Like, it's not like people just don't get you and therefore you don't talk to them no more. It was like, you don't need to talk to them or even tell them what you're doing or about to do because they're your lower self. They can't hear. They're blind. They're deaf. So I just thought that was interesting. Aya kind of briefly spoke on isolation. I've heard her mention isolation a couple times because I think that that kind of rings true for her. I think that she kind of does understand like that we were isolated. But she doesn't want to fully admit that to herself because that would mean that there was thought reform going on, there was brainwashing going on. And so she speaks to that, but then she says, yeah, we were in these remote locations away from, 45 minutes to an hour away from society. Yeah, we were out there surrounded by jungle and trees and nothing else. Yeah. But everyone had their own phone and social media. But I was just like, you can't fool me because I was there. Some of us did not have our own phones. At one point in Panama, we were all sharing phones. I remember I was sharing a phone with Aaron. There was multiple other people who didn't have phones because we had just got raided in Mexico. They had taken our phones, and some of us did not have phones. Some people even got their phones taken. And also, for reasons of just like punishment. And also, when it comes to social media, immediately when I got there, I had to change my social media name to in my bio that in something that was in agreement and mimicked the other members' bios. And I had to make sure I always added in the caption, reflected light from the most honorable, blah, 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 you know, for the most honorable master teacher, blah, blah, blah. You had to write that. And if you didn't, somebody will call you out on it. When I first got there, I didn't do that because I didn't know that was a rule. And he called me into his I was into his office, into the room where he was in, and he was like, "Why don't you honor me? Why don't you honor your higher self? Don't you think that's a bit strange?" So, and I thought, dang, maybe that's a bit strange, but I think that you can't just say like, oh, it's isolation by or it's not isolation because everyone has their own phone and social media when your social media account changes. And so therefore anything that you were connected to in your past, you can't stay connected to it. I remember like people reaching out to me and they knew based off my social media pages that I was on some different stuff. And so they would reach out to me in a certain way and it would automatically create this distance between me and people that I knew and knew me. And it's just amazing how it just kind of happens that separation happens, and it's not so much of like, oh, they don't get you, or oh, well, you have your own social media, you can reach out to anyone you want to. That's not true. And in my first couple months of being there, I would say probably like 2 months of being there, um Bishop felt like I was a mole and I was telling information to outside sources. And he took my phone and he went through it. He went through all my text messages, read every last one of them. He went through all my messages. He went through calls. Like, so right then and there, that says that you don't have control of your phone. Somebody is going to be clocking you. So hold on now. Before you try to smear the mirror, don't forget who was there. Okay, I was there. And um by the way, some of these situations happened, before these said members were even there, so they really ain't aware. Let me stop. Let me stop. But like, I'm just speaking to my whole entire experience. And you know um yeah, it's like you can't fool everybody all the time. So that's all I'm gonna say about that. Now, um another thing that I thought was super interesting, because of course they're doing this interview on Instagram yesterday because of the trial and how unfair they believe it is, and the sentencing, and how, oh, people with, people that unalive people don't even get that much time, yada yada yada. Yeah, okay. The only thing I had to say to that is you were in the state of Georgia. The crimes that you committed, the crimes that you were charged with had a certain uh Y'all know what I'm trying to say. A certain minimum time that you would have to serve if you were found guilty of these crimes. So don't try to act like he's being treated so unfairly. Like only Bishop got got this amount of time for doing this. Nobody else would have got it. If it was a white person, they wouldn't have got it. No. Like this is the sentencing. This is the sentence amount that you get when you do these crimes in the state of Georgia. If you don't want to do the time, you know what they say. Oh, so yeah. Oh, I'm gonna do that next. I'm gonna talk about that next. But I just, I think a lot of people catch this, but I'm gonna say it even so. The wife's interview, it was very soft. It was very soft, but I think that's the only way you can get an interview with them is being soft. But what's so interesting is they always fail to address the evidence that was entered. They always say there's no evidence. There was no evidence. All they did was get people's testimony. There was no evidence. Hold up, swole up. That's what my mama used to say. Hold up, swole up. There was evidence because we all seen it. I'm starting to think that Efru and Aya didn't watch the trial. Did y'all watch the trial? If y'all watching it, did y'all actually watch the trial? Like, did y'all listen to every testimony and look at every piece of evidence that was presented for real? Did y'all see the DV expert in the will that she presented? Did y'all hear Rick Allen Ross? I don't know if y'all heard that part. Also, did y'all see the 2 videos that were presented of your God, your husband, your friend, your what? I don't even know what he is to you anymore. Did y'all actually see the video and listen to the videos that were presented of him? There was 2 videos that he recorded himself, and it being free, mind you. This is before he got arrested. He was free, so this is just his free thoughts, what he's saying. He ain't under no pressure. He's just saying his own thoughts. He said he was God and everything belonged to him and everybody was in his mind. 1. 2, he said he feels like he can take it from anybody, any woman. It don't matter. He can take it. He don't know why dudes is out here asking for stuff when they can just take it. Why are dudes asking for permission from a woman? You could just take it. He said it out his own mouth. That is evidence. I'm not sure if you don't understand that or not, and maybe you just don't want to, but that is evidence. And it was entered as evidence. And the videos were of him. So it wasn't hearsay. Efru, you keep talking about hearsay. Hearsay this, hearsay that. It was hearsay. Girl, no. Let's look at the definition of hearsay. That's how they be. Hold up. No, for real. Let's look up the definition of hearsay. Because she swear everything is hearsay. Hearsay. I want to read it the way it's actually presented in the dictionary. Because hearsay is defined as the report of another person's word by a witness, which is usually disallowed as evidence. So it's information received from other people, which cannot be substantiated, right? So it's a rumor. The evidence that was presented of Bishop talking in those videos as Bishop, he's himself in the video, that's not hearsay. It's also not hearsay when I get on the stand and tell my testimony. That's not hearsay because I'm not talking about what someone else said. I'm not talking about a rumor. I'm talking about something I experienced, something that happened. That's not hearsay. She said this whole case is hearsay. How, Sway? That's what I got to say to that. How? Because yes, you try to get up on the stand and say something that was hearsay. I heard her say, you can't say that because you could easily lie about what somebody else said. I mean, you could lie about what you said too, but they can't allow that in the court. It's not allowed. It's not allowed in the court of law. Usually, is what it says right here in the dictionary, which is usually disallowed as evidence in the court of law. You cannot do that. So when you see those videos being presented of him talking as himself, that's not hearsay. That's actually him talking as himself. That's evidence that he would do something to the caliber of this crime. That is evidence of that. When you hear him on the interrogation tape saying, she said no, but because that's how we try to spin it. She said no, but you know how. Like, no, she said no. No means no. That is evidence. That's not hearsay. Because guess what doesn't make that hearsay? She said no. He said she said no. We can assume she said no. And here's the thing. The judge was not in charge of finding Bishop guilty. The witnesses on the stand were not in charge of that either. The prosecution were not in charge of that either. A jury of Bishop's peers found him guilty. Insert Law and Order music. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. I can't use my notes. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, dun, dun. This whole case is hearsay. Dun, 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 dun. I can't use my notes. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh, I'm about to drop the link, y'all. But there's one other part of the one more part of the of this interview I want to talk about. It might be one or two more parts. But oh my gosh, I just can't. She said you and Aaron. No, y'all thought Aaron was funny. I'm the funny one. He gets his jokes from me. It's like this way. I can't use my notes. I promise you, I'm gonna be saying that forever. Like, I don't know when the next time I'm gonna take a test, like somewhere, but I swear I'm just gonna say that out loud. Like, I can't use my notes. Cause I don't even care if nobody gets it. It's just funny to me. Oh yeah, Tamara. I'm sorry. I think you probably pronounce it as Tamara. I get you. I feel you. It is something. But shit, they be laughing at me. Let me stop. No, I'm not petty, but no, I get it. Like, yeah, that's all I'm gonna say about that. I get it. Said she had a bug. I'm done. Y'all just be crazy. So yeah, if anybody wants to come up, you're welcome to. I'm just gonna finish just going through some of this interview here. One thing I really liked that this interview addressed, even though she was really soft with her approach, I was like, when she asked this question, I was like, yeah, plant the seed, drop the seed, because she said, and she worded it in a way where it was like a drawn out question, but I think she was just trying to, put the fillers in there so that they wouldn't get triggered. She was like, she's like, I was watching and it seemed like y'all were really pampering him, treating the black man well. I loved that. I loved how it was like changing the tune of basically how we treat black men. Whoop de whoop whoop. And she said, but did you guys ever think that like Bishop had some trauma that he wasn't addressing? Basically, she asked. And Aya says, oh no. Not word for word, but she's like, no, he's healed. He has healed, he has healed. I think she said, he has healed most of his trauma. And that's something that Bishop said from day one. He always felt like he had healed all of his demons. Excuse me. He
He
always
was
said
a
that he was
damn
at the
demon.
point of his journey of his life where now it was time for him to help people, right?
Mm-mm.
That's what I remember when I was there. He would say
He's
like,
the
"I'm here to
demon.
help people. Like I've already overcame all my demons. I made it to the mountaintop." And it's funny because Aya says that she's like, "He was at the top of the mountain. That's how you know he healed all his demons." Girl, he was in an Airbnb. You don't have to heal all your demons to get an Airbnb at the top of the mountain. And yes, I'm throwing a lot of shade tonight or this afternoon, but mm, so you do not have to come on. You ain't got to be healed to go to Costa Rica. You don't got to be healed to go into Honduras with a backpack on and
Mm-hmm.
say, "I'm free. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
living in America no more." You don't got to be healed to get your passport stamped.
Stamped.
Or in his case, to just not get it stamped and just stay in Costa Rica without getting stamped till you get kicked out. You don't have to be healed to do that. So when she said that, it's like she's literally inserting these thought stopping cliches or these things that Bishop himself has said that um, identifies him as being healed. The fact that he left the system, the fact that he was on the mountaintop and people came to live with him, the fact that, he studied his birth chart, therefore he's healed all his demons. No, 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 no. None of that stuff means you've um, healed all your demons. But she goes on to say that, no, see, what he was doing was he was saving other people. And you see, those people that he was trying to save, they would get crazy and they would yell and say F you and hit him. Basically, try to paint this picture of Bishop was getting abused by his followers. And we all know that's a lie. The lie detector been determined that's a lie. They love to use that one video of him being hit after this person was trying to escape. Like, she was trying to escape. What was she supposed to do? They love to use that video. But he's like, but she goes on to say, like, when he tried to heal their trauma, that's when they would get crazy and then they would get irate. But she never talks about what did Bishop do when he was triggered. Like, because people in the group weren't the only people that would get upset. Most of the time, anybody who would get upset was after the fact that Bishop would be upset. So
That's what I said. And if you guys remember, his last name technically is not Bishop, right? His last name is not Bishop. Who remembers when he went to go see Malaya, right? And when he showed his ID, it says Prada. So I don't even know how he's still held as Bishop when his last name is Prada, right? When he went up there to the hospital and went there, the demon that he is. But that is why they got eeny, meeny, and miny, and mo off the thing, because y'all couldn't answer them real questions. Y'all could not answer the real questions. If you thought they was just gonna ask you a made up story about that night, y'all wrong. Y'all wrong. If y'all thought they were just gonna ask you, was you in the room? Yeah. And this happened in the room. No, 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 no. That's not how that go. That's not how they go. You thought they couldn't get deeper when they was asking you about what's going on there? Huh? That's a lie. Just put that on the window. Mm-hmm. Oh, Dad, you can't get there. No, not this. Oh, unless you put the. Hold on. You could say something, Cece, before we get to the last end of the straw. All right, we're gonna get to the last end of this straw.
How did my question is like, how did Bishop
Now,
react, Aya? Because we cannot honestly say that he was just sitting on the top of the mountaintop in his, meditation pose saying, oh yes, come to me, I am healed, I will heal you of all your troubles. And then once you see yourself and you're like, oh no, I don't like what I see, this isn't good, and he was like, oh, it's not like he was just sitting there like, oh, you'll figure it out, or oh, punishments were in place. Initially it was just like, okay, you got to do squats, or you need to go write. I remember he had me write out sentences. That was back in Mexico. He was I think he probably took that from his childhood trauma of having to do that probably, but he had me write out sentences. And see, I thought it was a good thing because he said that I was a pessimistic person and I needed to write over and over again, I will be optimistic. And so I was like, okay, I'll write it. And I wrote it over and over again. But fast forward to Atlanta, he had Zoka write, I will be obedient to whatever he was calling himself at that time over and over again on a piece of paper. Like probably over 100 times had to write that. So that's my question. How did he react? And what did he react in a way that said that he was healed from his trauma? How in the world can you be healed from your trauma but use a leather belt to whip somebody over and over again? Because apparently they're not healed. So no, you can't make that make sense to me. You could fool some of these people that have not heard about the things he's done and who he is. But you and I both know, Aya, that if you were to serve Bishop a plate and he didn't like what was on that plate, he was liable to knock you upside your head. And he has. And I've seen it. So that doesn't sound like somebody that's healed to me. Efru chimed in and she was like, yeah, it's people who have to deal with their trauma. Okay? It's the other people that need to deal with their trauma. In other words, they're like, it's us that have to deal with our trauma. He doesn't have to deal with his trauma because he's healed. He's innocent. And she says that again. He's innocent. And it's funny because we used to say that all the time, like, he can do no wrong. He can do no wrong. Even
and it's so funny. I was just saying yesterday that every time they go on an interview or something, we got to blast that interview. I am so glad that she is doing this. We got to blast it each and every time, and nobody can blast it better than them. I am so thankful that they're doing this. I am so thankful that we are, we're all doing it, but it's really, well, I know why we doing it, and I guess they're trying to help now also. So that's accountability like a mofo, right? Accountability like a mofo, right? They're righting their wrongs, even though they was in the cult and all this other stuff. They're trying. They're trying, and I'm glad. But each and every time they do an interview, we gotta blast it because they're only speaking to people who is going to be nice with them, who's not going to question them, and who is going to let them talk. Like, no, I ain't come to hear none of your teaching. They don't care how old you are. They think they teaching you, right? And it's something you can learn from everybody. Yes, it is. But if what you're talking about, that will not be what I need to learn. That I have no, that we sort of kind of know. We sort of kind of know these things already, right? So, again, we're going to end this. I'm thankful for each and every one of you being here. And don't worry, we'll be right back. We got some more stuff to cover today. We shall be back. So y'all know we're going to end this on a happy note. Yes, we is.
I'm so happy.